Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so glad you're joining me for this explainer today. We are going on an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour into the heart of a premier design and business institution. You know, if you've ever found yourself wondering what it really takes to bridge that gap between having a creative passion and actually landing a high-level professional career, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're diving deep into the dynamic campus experience of Raffles Jakarta. We're going to unpack the specific tools, the environments, and the global networks they use to build truly industry-ready graduates.
But first off, I want you to just think about this for a second. How do you get a global design education without leaving Indonesia? I mean, it's a massive challenge, right? Usually accessing those international standards, getting diverse perspectives, and tapping into a global alumni network, all of that normally requires hopping on a plane and completely uprooting your life. But as we're going to see today, Raffles Jakarta has engineered a highly specific environment to solve that exact problem.
Okay, let's dive into this. To understand how they pull this off, we'll be looking at four main pillars today. First, their prime Central Jakarta location. Second, inside the creative campus. Third, real-world industry experience. And finally, number 4, the global network advantage.
Starting with Pillar 1, prime Central Jakarta location. Let's zoom right in on the physical presence of the campus itself. Because, let's be real, in the world of design and business, where you learn is often just as crucial as what you learn. Raffles Jakarta is located right at Lippo Thamrin on Jalan MH Thamrin Kafling 20, squarely in Central Jakarta. We're not talking about some isolated, tucked-away campus out in the suburbs. This address places students right in the absolute beating heart of the city.
And having that central address, it brings some massive strategic advantages. It's not just about, having a fancy prestige zip code. It's about giving students completely frictionless access to the very key business districts and creative industries they're actually aiming to work in. Plus, it saves them from hours of cross-town Jakarta traffic, which, let's be honest, is a massive perk all on its own. By being right there in the mix, students are literally immersed in professional environments the second they step off campus. It really bridges that psychological gap between being just a student and being a professional, because you're walking the same streets, grabbing coffee at the same shops, and feeling the same daily energy as the industry leaders you want to work for.
Moving on to our second pillar, inside the creative campus.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast. What actually happens when you step off those bustling streets and walk through the campus doors? Well, standard higher education often leans heavily on traditional theory-based lectures. You know the drill. You sit, you listen, you take a bunch of notes. But the Raffles environment completely flips that script. They focus heavily on an active, studio-based, and project-driven learning model. It's a hyper-industry-oriented environment built entirely around creativity, collaboration, and actually making things. So instead of just memorizing textbook concepts, students are in there actively exploring ideas, experimenting, and producing original work every single day.
Of course, to support that level of hands-on creation, you absolutely need the right tools. Just take a look at these professional facilities. We're talking about design and media labs fully loaded with advanced Mac systems running all the industry-standard creative software, which is critical for digital media students. Then you've got these dedicated fashion production studios where sketches actually turn into physical garments. Plus, they've integrated specific exhibition and collaboration spaces right alongside dedicated presentation areas. Try to picture the energy in these rooms for a second. High-tech Mac labs humming away, bustling fashion studios covered in fabrics and prototypes, and these dynamic spaces where students are constantly pitching and showcasing their work. It's literally designed to look and feel exactly like a modern creative agency or business headquarters.
All right, let's shift gears to Pillar 3, real-world industry experience.
Now, having amazing facilities is one thing, right? But how do you actually use them? And this brilliantly illustrates the actual experiential journey a student goes through. It's basically a 3-step process. First up, everything starts with industry-relevant briefs and case studies that mirror actual real-world scenarios. Second, students take those briefs straight into studio creation, and they're guided through this by experienced international lecturers. And finally, step 3, they don't just hand in a paper to a professor and call it a day. No, they present their projects in professional exhibitions, fashion showcases, and real campus events. This constant looping cycle of get a brief, create, and showcase ensures they are building a highly competitive, industry-ready portfolio their entire time there, getting real professional feedback every step of the way.
And running alongside that 3-step journey, there are a few extra advantages that really give these students a sharp edge. For one, all instruction is in English, which instantly aligns them with global business standards. Then there's this highly efficient fast-track graduation system, which is huge because it allows students to jump into the workforce even earlier. On top of that, the curriculum heavily integrates actual industry field trips, and the school actively collaborates with leading brands to set up real-world internships. This whole combination doesn't just churn out graduates, it creates highly employable professionals who already know exactly how the industry operates way before they even get their diploma.
But the absolute linchpin of delivering this global education locally is the faculty. As noted in the source material, quote, their global industry experience and diverse perspectives enrich the learning environment, ensuring students are exposed to internationally aligned practices, end quote. And this is just paramount. Bringing in experienced international lecturers means bringing professional standards from all over the globe directly into those classrooms in Jakarta. It perfectly cross-pollinates local Indonesian talent with top-tier global expertise.
Let's move to our final pillar and see how this builds up: the global network advantage.
Okay, let's zoom way out to the macro scale of the institution for a second. 16. I really want that number to sink in, because this isn't just one standalone, independent campus in Central Jakarta. Not at all. Raffles Jakarta is actually a vital node in a massive interconnected web of 16 different global institutions that make up the Raffles Education Network.
And where are those 16 institutions? They span across 9 different countries, all throughout the Asia-Pacific and Europe. This is a massive global education group. It was actually originally founded in Singapore way back in 1990, and they've been expanding their footprint ever since, incorporating Raffles College and Raffles University campuses all over the world.
So the crucial point is this: when you are part of a 9-country, 16-campus network, it unlocks some truly incredible perks for you. It guarantees the curriculum is internationally aligned. It organically fosters a super diverse international student community right there on the Jakarta campus, which is amazing for cross-cultural exchange. But honestly, the absolute best part is that it opens the door for seamless inter-campus transfer opportunities and cross-border learning experiences. You can literally build your academic foundation in Jakarta and then just effortlessly transfer to an entirely different cultural environment within their network. Think about how much that broadens your global outlook, and for sure your future job prospects.
We started this explainer by asking how you get a global education without leaving Indonesia, and I think we've seen exactly how Raffles Jakarta has structured their campus, their curriculum, and their global network to make that a reality. They provide the prime central location, the advanced professional studios, the international faculty, and those crucial real-world projects. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. With industry-ready skills and the full backing of a massive global network, where will your portfolio take you? The tools are all there, the environment is perfectly set, the rest is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today, and keep learning.